Travis Pratt. P-R-A-T-T, two T's. I was actually an adult when I realized that Pratt with one T is a popular British insult. If you look it up in the dictionary, it just says a stupid or foolish person.
For a minute,
just doesn't feel that good.
Yeah, gotcha.
But I was researching it, and even farther back in Old English, there's examples of it being used interchangeably for both ass and vagina. You'd think they'd want to distinguish between the two, right? I know several of my ex-girlfriends wished I could tell the difference. So how you guys feeling tonight? Yeah. Any dry coughs in the audience? No? Good. You know, as if sick people weren't annoying enough before this. I don't know. One of the worst parts of being sick for me is I know how annoying I am to other people. Like my grandma could come back from the dead, and I get 1 hour to ask her all the questions I've always wanted to ask her. But if she had a sniffle, I'd be eyeing the clock the whole time. It's the same with depression. You're bummed, and you know you're a bummer to everybody, so that bums you out even more. Like a snowballing effect. I mean, I get depressed, but I think I get the type of depressed that money could fix. You know? I don't know if it's so much a chemical imbalance or just like a realistic assessment of what I've done with my life at this point. But I have a fail-safe to suicide. I know I'll never do it because I told all my best friends if I do ever kill myself, it's because I was thinking about fucking children. So now anytime I get close, I'm like, Tom's gonna think I was thinking about fucking kids. Can't do it, so I hold on for one more day. Yeah. When I was trying to get myself out of it, thinking of other ways, and I found, based on a lot of my reading, that if you give your time to other people, if you help other people, it can actually clear up your depression. And I'm here to tell you guys, I'm here to make this promise to you, I will never let it come to that. So I just cheered myself up, right? Since the COVID thing, you know, I haven't been doing many shows, and now some of my old nerves are coming back, and I feel like maybe I should, I found a good technique to help myself get centered, and I hope you guys will join me in this little meditation. All you have to do is breathe deeply, and say to yourself, this is Joplin, Missouri. These people do not matter. I'm included in there, so. You know, I've said that in a few other cities, but it never feels as good or as true as when I say it right here at home. There's nothing wrong with it, but I feel like I'm more of a city person, you know? I want to live in the place they're gonna airlift me to. Better quality of life and better chance of survival. I have a studio in Kansas City. I spend a lot of time there, and I always get a little depressed right when I leave town. One of the first landmarks you see, I don't know if it's Butler or Belton, and the fact that I've made this drive hundreds of times and can't remember kind of proves my point. But it says on the water tower, Butler or Belton, home of Tate Stevens. I don't know who Tate Stevens is. So might as well just say on their water tower, Butler or Belton. A place you have to leave to make anything of yourself, and even then, the odds aren't that good. Who am I to talk, right? You know, Joplin, you know us from the tornado. Or the tornado. Joplin. In order to get on the map, we had to get wiped off it. I didn't make that up. They're actually painting that on our water tower right now. I like to joke about this area, but I feel a deep attachment to it. You know, I consider myself an Ozark son. I don't really know what that means because I made it up. But I think you have to meet a few requirements to be an Ozark son or daughter. I think you should be able to fillet a fish, steer a canoe, and I'll see your bow hunting and raise you a father who's done time in prison. And no, it was not for meth. That Ozark Adderall. It was for all the shit he stole while he was on meth. But I think one of the most important things an Ozark son or daughter needs is an attachment to the landscape, and I definitely have that. You know, I'm always trying to sell my friends from out of town on coming to visit me, and recently one came from Colorado, and he was very surprised when I took him on the trails. He's like, you know what? It is really beautiful around Joplin, but what's with all the trash? And I was like, don't judge these people just by looking at them. And he's like, no, the actual litter, the trash everywhere. It's like, that is not litter. That is an Ozark billboard. 5 minutes on the trail and you know every fast food option in a 50-mile radius. It'd be counterproductive if you're using the trails to get in shape though, because you're like, man, who brings a full pizza out on the trail? Oh shit, a Slurpee does sound good. Is that a coupon? I could get a quarter mile in if I just jog back to the car right now. I got to show him my favorite breed of dog, the Ozark Terrier. The Ozark Terrier is just a leashless pit bull wandering around with no obvious owner in sight. We went out and he's like, well, there's not a lot of public transportation here, you know. Fear not, we've got the Ozark Uber. That's any friend who's had less than 6 bush lights. And it goes up 1 bush light for every mile you get outside of city limits. But I had to warn him about the Ozark Nanny. And the Ozark Nanny is not a person, it's more like a move, like an instinctual move people do. I have a son, I take him out to the creek. Your kid starts playing with the kid of a party next to you, all of a sudden, they quit paying attention to their child and you're responsible for the life of a kid you met 5 minutes ago. You got Ozark nannied. The first time I was Ozark nannied, caught me by surprise. You know, this kid started tagging along with my son and he looks up at me, the other kid, and he's like, I gotta go pee. I'm like, tell your dad, he's 15 feet away. And he just yells, Dad, gotta pee. And his dad just, go. And you know how little kids are. This boy pulls his pants all the way down to his ankles, right next to me, a stranger. And it's like, he can't get him back up. His underwear's wrapped around his pants. And I'm looking into the woods for cameras or something. He's looking at me for help. I'm worried I'm on to catch a predator. The most recent time I got Ozark nanny. Thank you, I love you. I paid her to be here. Happy birthday. It's everyone's birthday tonight. We don't give out free shit. You don't have to say that. Yeah, happy birthday. The most recent time I was Ozark nanny. My son starts playing with this little girl. The sun's going down. I'm kind of caught up in the moment. Not on my guard. All of a sudden I realized that the adults were with this little girl were like on the other side of the parking lot, maybe 200 yards away, and they're ducking their heads down in this car. I see they're doing lines of something, and I'm pissed, you know? I'm pissed. Because I look at this little girl, she might be only 6, but she's probably had to grow up pretty quick. She would have been fine to watch my son if they would have just invited me over there. Who are these people? You know the worst part about having a coke problem? Is you don't realize you're an alcoholic. I'm a proud father, by the way. Dad. Thank you. You know, a lot of my friends that don't have kids, they're worried that a kid's gonna ruin your life. But I always tell them, kids do not ruin your life. They just ruin the life you dreamed of living. One of the greatest things about being a father, though, is the mundane things that you take for granted, they see as new again. Like my son will look up at me just, as soon as he can hold himself up on the fireplace mantle and rub the rocks. Like, Dad, you gotta feel this. Like, come on, son, your daddy knows what rocks feel. Oh my goodness. That is